mind won't shut the fuck up. It's always telling me how awful I am, how fat I am, how unworthy I am, and I fucking had enough. The best part is, I don't actually have to listen to this mean voice inside my head anymore. But now comes the hard part, cleaning up all of its mess and getting rid of every single fucked up word it has ever spoken to me. This is my therapy, my way of healing, and sharing all I have learned over the last few years. So enjoy my fucked up thoughts. Feelings, emotions, they either feel good or they don't. We want them or we don't. Most of the time, they suck. Or they're sucking the life out of us because they are too strong. We use and abuse so many things in order to feel good. Or even just to feel something. For me, it was food. Food was my high. It made me feel good for all of about 5 seconds before the shame and the hatred for myself kicked in. But that high kept me going back. That fleeting feeling was enough for me to continue to use food as a way to feel better. But in the same instance, it was my way of punishing myself for living, for breathing, for being the horrible, disgusting, unworthy person I was. I had no right to be here. I had no right to feel good. So I overloaded my body with food until I could feel as disgusting as I could, because that was all I deserved. For some people, it was alcohol or drugs, shopping, gambling, living hard and fast. Whatever it may be, it is there because it gives you something, some sense of feeling good. Yet the rest of the time, there can be nothingness, no feelings at all, a barren and dry place desperately hoping for rain. But at the first drop, you instantly protect yourself from a downpour of emotion because it's too uncomfortable, foreign, unfamiliar. So all of the good feelings eventually stop trying to dampen the terrain. This is how I lived for most of my life. I can't quite remember when my feelings began to dry up. I only know that they did. I think somewhere around the beginning of my teenage years. That's when the weight really started to pile on. That's when I really started to hate myself and my body. My feelings were overtaken with anxiety and depression. Food became my only relief. And it's funny how, when someone is abusing food the way I did, nobody notices. If I was abusing drugs or alcohol in the same way, someone would have stepped in. They would have intervened and helped me through it. At least I hope they would have. But nobody noticed. Nobody cared. I was just another fat girl who couldn't control what she ate. I was hideous. I was someone I was someone to mock and poke fun at. What did it matter? I didn't have any feelings anyway. Maybe that's how my feelings died, all that mockery and ignorance. Nobody cared, so why should I? Looking back, I can see how I misconstrued everything. I was so hurt and in so much pain, so much emotional pain, that I couldn't see straight. My pain killed my feelings. The good ones anyway. My happiness, my joy, my fun and my laughter. They all died about the same time. They all upped and left because my pain took over my whole existence. I became angry and frustrated, sad and depressed, and empty, empty, empty. Do you know what I mean by this? Have you felt this way too? Do you still feel this way? It sucks, doesn't it? It fucking sucks. But there is another part of this though. The main reason we stay in all the fucked upness of our life. It's something we don't even really know about. We aren't aware of that it is even happening to us. But when you're a child, you can't be familiar with its presence unless someone tells you about it. And as you get older, there is no way of knowing until one day it is shown to you in one way or another. It's your mind, that shitty voice inside your head. And you can hear all about that in the last podcast, the mean thoughts inside my head. And it's this fucking voice that's the reason for just about everything. It controls what you do, where you go, how you think, how you behave, how you live, and how you feel. And as I was writing this, back then I was feeling shit. I was feeling as if I was not conveying myself properly and that my writing sucks. I wanted to quit and go and do something else. The voice in my head, it's attacked me so many times that I don't even need that voice to say a word in order for me to feel hopeless and inferior. It has repeatedly bombarded me with lies and nonsense my whole life, that those feelings are now permanently there in everything I do, which has prevented me from doing much at all. I begin things and then quit because this voice has been so convincing I don't know any other way to be. So as I'm feeling all this suppressing behavior, my ego is kicking back with its feet up, congratulating itself on a job well done. It doesn't even have to say anything in order for me to feel exactly the way it wants me to feel. Hopeless and inferior. The old me would have given up by now. She would believe every word and every feeling as if it were the real me. Hopeless and inferior. But I'm not. I am so much more than that. I could never feel that before. I would never allow myself to feel that, even though I had glimpses of it. Even when my loving voice whispered it in my ear. Even when my life was really good, I couldn't see what was right in front of me. I couldn't feel the goodness of it. I only wallowed in my misery and self-pity because I was horrible and my life was horrible. It fucking sucked and I fucking sucked. I was worthless and unworthy. Thanks, Saskia, for telling me how fucking awful I am. I really appreciate all those lost years when I was supposed to be enjoying myself, feeling so good about where I was at and all the great things I had. Thanks a fucking lot. When I was writing those words, it brought up a lot of anger. I feel as though I missed so much of my life because of not being able to feel good about myself. Feeling all of those horrible things about myself, they caused me so much more pain. And on it went until one day it just became so overwhelming. It became too much. I couldn't bear it anymore. I was exhausted from holding my feelings at bay. I was tired of protecting myself so much that I never felt anything good. My feelings were getting worked up. They are being taken back to that time and feeling it all over again. I had to take a moment and breathe deeply, calm myself down. I'm kind of getting a little worked up now. But at least I'm feeling something. Is something better than nothing? I think so. When you hate yourself as much as I did, it seems as though there will never be a chance to feel anything else. I always longed for the feeling of joy and the feeling of love, although I wasn't entirely sure what they felt like. I had an old awareness of something deep inside me. It was my hope that one day I would find them again. But first I had to acknowledge the ones I have. They weren't serving me very well, but they were still mine. I owned them. I began to look at all that made me angry and why. Why was I sad? Why was I frustrated? Why was I miserable? And most importantly, was it true? Our voice convinces us it's truth, not the truth. Determining the difference is tricky. Over time, it gets easier, and the irony is your feelings show you the way. It is your feelings that let you know what is your truth and what isn't. Think back to a past experience or moment in time when you felt differently to what was happening inside your mind. Your gut was talking to you, letting you know that what you were about to do was not right for you, or the other way around. Which did you listen to? What was the end result? The biggest one for me was the day I let myself listen to my gut instead of my head. My now husband came to pick me up one morning before we were to head out for Anzac Day. I was lying in bed and he was sitting on a chair across from me. My head was talking to me and letting me know that this was not what it seemed. He was just another guy who was not really that interested in me. He'd have his fun and then he'd leave. My heart was cold and closed, and I could not cope with being rejected again. My mind was calling the shots. However, my feelings were saying something different. They were affirming this was not just another guy. They told me to ignore what my head was saying and just see where this goes. Trust that it will all work out, one way or another. So I did. I trusted my feelings rather than listening to my head. We have now been together for 16 years. So many of us trust our head instead of what we are feeling. Somewhere along the way, it was discouraged to listen to your feelings. Feelings don't know anything. Only the head does. We lost touch with our guidance, resulting in poor decision making and all of the mental and emotional issues we are dealing with today. In saying that, we all have our own unique path. My depression and weight gain, my pain and my sadness, my hate and my hurt have all made me who I am today. They have led me to this place where I get to share it with others. I am now doing what I love, writing. I'm putting all of these feelings and experiences out there for anyone to read. Is that scary? Bloody oath it is. Do I want to run away and hide like I have always done? Fuck yes. But that is the old me, the me who listened to my shitty voice way too much. It is my feelings that have led me to doing this, and it feels right. I allow my feelings to guide me. When Saskia chimes in with her words of discouragement, I kindly tell her to mind her own business. She doesn't get to run the show anymore. I do. The human me and the soul me. But there is another side to all of this that no one really talks about. But thankfully, more and more people are sharing this, and more people are beginning to listen. It's how your feelings affect your physical body. And in her book, Molecules of Emotion, Candace Pert, a neuroscientist and pharmacologist, explains how neuropeptides and cytokines, not sure if I've said that right, but I think so, act as communication agents between the body and the brain. And she also writes about how these molecules of emotion are very intelligent. They're a very intelligent part of the body-mind because the two are connected in a way no one has been able to see before. At least not in the last couple of 100 years. Before that, it probably just simply was. And emotions are made by these molecules throughout the body in all of its systems connecting the brain and the body. So much so, Candace declared that the body was the subconscious mind. I just want to share a few sentences from this amazing book to explain how it works. Okay, so the receptor, having received a message, transmutes it from the surface of the cell deep into the cell's interior, where the message can change the state of the cell dramatically. She also says, on a more global scale, these minute physiological phenomena at the cellular level can translate to large changes in behavior, physical activity, even mood. This shows the effect of thoughts. You have a thought and the vibration goes along with that thought, being a high vibration, feeling really good, or a low vibration, feeling really down, and that travels into the body and into your cells. Everything is made up of energy, a vibrational energy. Therefore, how you feel has a major impact on your health. Those high and low vibrations make their way into your cells and affect how they function. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail here about this, as I'm not really that qualified to do so. But there's so many amazing books and experts who can share their knowledge with you about how your emotions really do affect your health. This is from my understanding and my experience only. I have read many, many books in my attempt to heal my emotional and physical body. I believe I have been guided along the way to read each book at the right time. And if you would like to read any of these wonderful books, I'll share them in the description below. So you can click on the link and it'll take you straight there. All I know is this feels right. I can feel how my anger and my refusal to let all of the good things, the good feelings in, has caused physical pain. All of the negative thoughts and feelings have moved through me every second of the day for the last 40-something years. And now that I am aware of what I am doing to myself, I can feel the difference when I think more kindly and lovingly. There is a major difference. Sure, maybe you've noticed it too. When you feel really good, your whole body comes alive. It buzzes and it is filled with the most vibrant energy. Then on the other side of the coin is when you feel sad or depressed, angry or hurt, your body, it slumps. You have no desire to do anything. Life feels hard. And in my quest for self-healing, I was opened up to the fact that my emotions were all over the place. I was ignoring them and not allowing myself to feel anything good because I was of the belief that I didn't deserve to feel anything good. So that's why I have been reading book after book to discover a way to free myself from this torment inside. My loving voice is showing me the way, and I'm following her. It's not always easy, and I do resist more than she would like, but I know it is in my best interest because I don't want to be that way anymore. I don't want the physical pain that has been creeping up on me to get worse. For the last 10 years of my mother's life, her physical body deteriorated until eventually she wasn't able to walk or use her arms and hands to feed herself. I cannot let that happen to me. But it's beginning to. My legs and hips are aching and sore. They can be quite painful to the point I can hardly stand up anymore. The years of punishment and emotional assault are catching up with me. A little while ago, I had a dream. Now, I can't remember the dream except for just this one very important part. I woke up and it was being repeated over and over in my mind. It felt significant, like someone was telling it to me. I had to write it down so as not to forget it. But I don't think I'll ever forget it. And the words shared with me in this dream are this: emotions equal emotion, energy in motion, meaning emotions are energy, and that energy moves about the body in a high or low vibrational frequency, moves in and out of your cells, affecting those cells in a good way or a bad way. Does this energy help your cells to be healthy, or does it cause them to feel depleted in some way? Now, another brilliant book is The Secret Language of the Body by Ina Segal. In this book, she lists each body part and the emotional attachment causing pain and illness in this area. There's even an extensive list of physical ailments such as headaches, sore throat, and varicose veins. I mentioned my hips are in pain, especially my right one. In her book, she says painful hips are due to family problems and disagreements. Who are you carrying on your hip? Feeling unused and unappreciated, angry, betrayed, deceived, let down, and alienated. Experience strain and frustration, guilt, lack of support, and too much responsibility. I agree with all of this. I have felt this way every day of my life for as long as I can remember, since I was a young girl. You could argue that most people have some of these in your life, but not experience hip pain. That is true. Maybe your emotion is caught up in a different part of your body. Everyone is different, and they are going to experience things very differently to everyone else. Look at your pain. Where is it? How long has it been there? You see, our bodies are always talking to us, but we don't tend to listen. We ignore the signs and symptoms, or we take a pill to numb it out. When you go down into your body and really listen, you can feel what is going on. Don't ignore that. Don't dismiss that. You know your body better than anyone else. Listen to your body. What is it telling you? Listen to your feelings. What are they saying to you? It is okay to have feelings. It is especially okay to have the painful ones. We want nothing more than to not have those feelings. They suck. They're awful. They feel gross. We'll do anything to avoid them, but we can't. You can't. I can't. They are our guidance, and they help us to figure shit out. Which way to go? What is real? What is the truth? What gives us joy? What do we really love? Being sad or depressed or angry, it's not a bad thing. It can be helpful. Understanding what it is trying to teach you will bring you back into your good feeling state quicker. Be in it if you need to. Listen to what your sadness is saying. Listen to why you are feeling such anger. Then ask if it is from yourself, your inner guidance, or if your shitty voice is pulling you deeper into the darkness. Listen. Always listen. Your feelings are your guide. Dismiss them no more. Love them and trust them. By doing this, I no longer feel dead inside. I am tuning into my feelings and allowing them to guide the way. I am finally coming back to life, and I love it. So here's a little exercise for you to do. Listen to your feelings. Where are they coming from? Which part of you? Which ones feel good and which ones don't? Why are they there? Where have they come from? Write them down. Make a list of all of them. Ask yourself if they are true or not. Maybe talk about them with your partner or a close friend. Ask them what shitty feelings they have. What great feelings do they have? I reckon you're not the only one with so many fucked up feelings. So thank you for listening. And remember, keep on shouting, shut the fuck up. Until next time.